your views. While we're breaking off, we're looking at a good model and formula that Singapore inclines to, that has guided the economy, and which is a good one to me, that is referring to MPH, and the one who states it, or the last one is honesty, whether we have honesty policy makers, the policy we make today, whether it is for purpose of supporting the economic growth of the country, and that the honesty question is there. And I do bring that to localize it. Me, I do objectively make my observation. I'm not hiding anything to find out, like, honestly, let me use the word honestly, by the time to create 46 districts, do we need 46 districts, and we increase the expenditure? I do go back to the word honesty. You didn't say it, I wanted it to localize it. Honesty, do we need 87 ministers in an economy which is depending on debts? And then you tell me we are doing on well? Then one could ask this last H, honestly, do we need to be having to borrow money over now 73 trillion and 25 trillion are not utilized and everything seems to be well? Honestly, so that is a good formula. So to be honest, that means there should be radical reforms. We do whatever it takes. If others have done it, we can do it. The honesty of China, they say, no, if you're corrupt, you cannot bear with you in our economy. Those are some of the pillars I believe are important. If we are to mark growth, I would also fail to make my opinion, more objective opinion in this moderation. Now I receive you, we'll continue to go forward. But as we go forward, here are 4 questions. What the state should do, what the citizens should do, those questions are for you, sir. And back to you, doctor. Who will build our economy? Who controls our economy? Who is misusing our economic resource? Maybe if we answer this question, then we shall have finished our talk show.
Okay, so
Yes.
So I don't know if I should go first. Who should build our economy?
Yes.
Build, and then who is misusing?
Who is controlling our
Who is
economy?
Controlling?
And then who is misusing our economic resources?
Our economy. I'll still stick with the economy. So I'll start with who is responsible for building our economy. I mean, from the topic tonight, we wouldn't have stated it any better. The citizens' role in building a sustainable and resilient economy. So me and you, viewer out there.
So how they can do it, that
exactly.
goes together.
Yes. Me and you out there who are watching this program, we are the ones solely responsible for building this economy. Now, when I say you out there, I am meaning you policymaker. I am meaning you cabinet minister. I am meaning you politician. I am meaning you head of the household. I am meaning you student out there who, instead of learning, you are squandering resources out there all in the name of, I don't know what kind of motivation. So all of us together are responsible. So what do? Will we continuously break down the systems because we feel that no one cares? And then at the end of the day, after we have, for example, I like the example that you raised. I'm a strong advocate of climate change and climate empowerment in Uganda. All of us are out there, each of us in our cars, in our bags, in our houses, you're packed with Kavera. And guess what? When you're stepping out, you trash it at your gate, you trash it at your household, and you're saying, government, the seasons have failed, give us food. I have a problem with you. Youth, you're there, you have run out from the communities instead of going to farm, participating, you're in the city squandering, waiting to beg.
Wait 1 second. As we talk about that, they don't have land, they don't have capital. Someone who is like looking at you saying, look at our, well-to-do lady. And someone is maybe even saying, look at her.
I am getting to that.
Let me support her. We have the largest freshwater lake in the world.
I'm getting there.
And 100 meters away from the largest freshwater lake in Africa, in the world, we have hunger. 100 meters, not 100 kilometers, 100 meters. and someone is playing Ludo in the trading center.
And I'll just use a small example around the roundabout here, Garden City, Ginger Road. Recently there was a caption, I don't know how many of you saw that video, of this old girl, 16, 17 years. A border man had a bunch of matoke and potatoes in his kadeya. And these people were busy pulling them out, and guess what? The lawmakers were watching.
Dr. Faith, we are going to this. Who controls our economy? Just one point, then we'll go to him.
Lastly, who is controlling our economy? We have the power, citizens, to control our economy.
But in reality,
with the support, we have the power to control the economy by the kind of decisions that we make. But in reality today, of course, our economy is controlled by a few people. Last week on the same program, I tried to explain, I gave an example, I tried to go ahead to explain the fuel crisis.
Who are those few people?
In Uganda, I went ahead to explain a small cartel of fuel determinants of the country, isn't it? So currently, they are the ones who are twerking around. I mean, government, you can do something, but I don't like to use that statement of government etuyambe. No, I feel that the citizenry, we have the right and the power to actually overturn that.
Next time we'll bring out the list of that.
Number 3.
Who controls our economy, those few people.
Number 3 is who is misusing the resources. Again, allow me to say that me and you are misusing the resources of this country. If all of us, for example, if you know you're a dedicated taxpayer, you earn an income, you committedly paid your tax, things will be different. And if you're not paying tax and you're a service provider, provide the service.
1 second. As I bought this water, I paid the tax. Don't ask me another tax. You came driving, you paid the tax. So why do you blame me? And in this way, we do look at then those who collect our resources, I mean our revenue, that would have gone back to him. Why? Who is misusing our resources? That's how we become.
So if I may conclude my point now. One of the real issues that I'd actually raised that I believe is going to be one of the ways we can actually minimize or strengthen resiliency and build a sustainable economy is actually by watching the public financial management. I mean, I'll let the taxpayer, but of course he's a tax collector. He's not a tax manager, isn't it? So maybe policymakers out there, this is something that I have really tried to stress about, but this is the issue of public financial management. Who in a country where we have been ranked consistently being the most corrupt country, actually amongst the top corrupt countries, and we actually keep going. We keep going. Don't you think you're actually misusing our resources?
So finally, as you conclude on that point, now if citizens see those who are misusing the resources, to you, what should the citizens do?
Reject their services and their products. If all of us stood tall, if your MP came back home and he said, I'm driving a Hummer or I'm putting up this and it's unexplainable, we need to reject such, because that is what all other countries are doing. I mean, in China, for example, in Korea, they will not tolerate nonsense of being corrupt.
They go there first, they always say that the poor man doesn't have a choice, and in that way, it normally becomes difficult for those to stand tall like you and say no to this, but we pray they can build the vibe and the stamina to make sure that they can resist the immoral behaviors of those who steal our resources. I believe you have your last word.
Yes,
will come here.
I have my last word, and my last word, you see, my last word is the Chinese saying that says a journey of 1,000 years starts with a day or with a step. So for me, I believe this is the beginning point. If all of us said, you know what, I am being very deliberate about building my country, another one joins you, assuming we're at third generation where we are all committed saying we are building our countries, Uganda will be totally different.
Thank you so much, Dr. Faith. We will have you again another time when God allows. I'd like to welcome our dear guest too, as he will give us his final commentary, or as he will state it. But it is here so much demanding. As I said this, you are saying our economy is growing. You are basing on the debt to sustain the economy. I'm now putting in those shoes. And you're also telling us that we are collecting taxes. you are only depending on the imports that are being imported in the country. And as my fellow countryman, I would have appreciated if we were having much more taxes on the exports, meaning the production. Those who are in the production, our graduates, the youth you are talking about, and maybe they are having companies are mushrooming, but even those who are in companies, as you will check on your profile, most are dropping out. And there I do feel we are in a bad state. What should we do? What's the role of the system and what's the role of the state in achieving this?
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Let me say this. With all, I like the debate and I appreciate some of the issues that we've shared. But I want to say, just as we start, we are collecting more domestically than what international trade is bringing. Are you getting it? We are collecting more than what international. Right now, ideally we collect more domestically. Now, what
we are collecting
the
more.
State? Yes, okay. We're collecting more.
Okay.
We could give the percentage.
If I look at 100%, you'll find we cross beyond the 50% mark. That which is collected from within, from us. But like I said earlier, there are very few people who are participating. Very few, especially on the direct taxes. They are very. We are talking of. The corporations and companies are, well, I'll call it about 200,000. But again, you will look at, we have segmented our clients. We have the large taxpayers, the medium, but we have especially the people who are the citizenry, who are enjoying the services. We have very few. The state is making it possible for our viewers to contribute. We have digital platforms. You can file your returns from your home, from the comfort of your home or office. You don't have to. We've reduced on the cost of doing business by you staying where you are and transacting with us and contributing. We are also really trying to educate our people, to tell them, because many don't know. So the state should bring more of these resources and more of these shows to teach, and we are here to teach. Go to our website, ura.go.ug. Go to our YouTube channel. We have URA TV. Find out how you can honor your obligations. Find out how you can participate. When you participate, then it becomes easy for you to say no to some things and to ask for accountability. But we still have people who 2,000 shillings and they are selling a vote. Doctor, I think we talked about that. But people still give out their votes. People are not voting. And that...
So then what is
the policy maker eventually, or rather, at the end of the day, you'll find that you're not contributing even where the country is going. What should the country do? We have solutions like the electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution. We have the digital tracking solution. All these are coming to help. And we are seeing we are taking leaps and bounds in our collections. And we ask you to, yes, come, honor your obligations. How will I know that it is hard? How will I know that tax is, there are presumptive rates for everyone who has a turnover of 150 million and below. And these were brought down because of the pandemic. Anyone who earns up to 150 million will only pay 900,000.
Now we are coming to closer.
Okay, I won't talk about how much I earn, but many of us who are in the pay-as-you-earn side, we pay more than the business people out there who are enjoying the services, but they are not contributing. So the citizen, kindly find out how can you contribute. We are online, we are teaching, we have a toll-free line, 0800 11 7000, call us. Not only that, send us an email, get that capability, call us, walk into our offices. We have more than 50 offices. Why? We want to come closer. We want to teach, we want to guide, we want to help. And there's no one who wants to really lead you actually, we don't want you to pay more than you should pay.
Thank you. What's your last
We don't want
word?
you to pay less than you should pay.
What's your last
So
word
there's a
as it
URA
goes?
office nearby.
Yes.
Find out, because there's so many people who are not contributing.
Let me ask you a question as you conclude. Do you have an advisory desk which can collect both the complaints and the advices from the citizens? Because among the complaints I submitted via this platform is the double taxation, and also the tax inequalities, the taxation levy inequalities, where those are investors are given, free tax exemptions, and yet we want to have more local, small investors who could contribute the tax base. Okay. What is your last say on that as we conclude our program?
The Ugandan law, if you are in a loss position, up to recently, okay, you'll find there is no income tax for you to pay if you're in a loss position. It's only when it's habitual that, again, we are, because there's some people who decided they will be in loss for 10, 15 years. But for everyone who is starting out, we recognize that business is not easy. And when you file your return, we get to know, and we have information which can be used to make policy. But if you don't come, you don't file, you don't do, you'll find that we are actually making decisions on maybe information that is not really correct.
Thank you so much. Please, we will now extend a lift to you. Since you are the one who does the literacy, another program we should be done to fund it. You bring the URA money because you also pay URA. We are partners, right? If you promise me in a good way that you will come back.
We are on so many radio stations even tonight.
So now for Smart 24 TV as we drive business, we are inviting you to come and bring business here as well. Thank you for that. And I want to take this opportunity to appreciate our dear guests who made sure that they come this evening and they forsook all they were doing. Dr. Faith Biona Mugisha and Mr. David Usoke, may God bless you. And I will be glad to have you again. We have not exhausted all that we desired to talk about, but we continue to build, as they say, Rome was not built one day. But our aspiration is Uganda should not be slow in achieving our greatest targets, so that we do not again lament other more years that, no, you see, we are young economy, and we must grow like how Singapore grew. We must grow like how the Taiwan, the Saudi Arabia grew. And we must be able now to be an example to most of our African countries. It is my inspirational statement as I close, and it's my call and appeal to those outside there. For the inefficiencies, we have listed them, and we want to all take responsibility to take heed. Production is important, and everyone should be in the production chain. The environment should be favorable. One thing which was also pertinent in this discussion is the fiscal policy should be so much promising to us, especially the credit access and so forth. With this, we wish you a good evening, everybody. Until we see you again, God bless you. Thank you so much.